Thank you so much for joining us here on the Flooring Africa Online Expo. It's crazy world out there at the moment, and we've got to do things a little bit differently. So welcome to our first online expo.
Thank you, Barry. Yeah, it's a pleasure to be here. Pleasure to be with you. Great opportunity for us. I think we're all going to find out what the new norm is going forward. I think it's going to take a while for us to get our heads around that. But thank you for this opportunity as well, and to be on this platform with you.
You guys have gotten this amazing 50th anniversary that you've just celebrated, your golden anniversary. Congratulations. And, you know, your hallmark is quality and client relationships. Do those beautiful old values still hold in today's crazy world that we find ourselves in?
I think more than ever, to be honest. Yeah, we started business in 1969, and so we turned 51 actually now in April. So it's been an incredibly challenging period for all of us. I think globally we've never experienced this, certainly not in any of our lifetimes. And I think this COVID-19 experience is going to test the world in many forms. And I think those underlying aspects of quality, of relationships, of integrity are going to hold stronger now than ever before. We're forced into a world of talking over the internet, and having those personal relationships, I think, is going to be critical for businesses and for people outside of their business lives going forward.
With KBAC, you've got some absolutely gorgeous brands that you represent, and there seems to be quite a common theme or thread that runs through them with regards to sustainability, integrity, professionalism. And I really I feel that I would like to know more, obviously, but how that's going to really come up to being a true focus for this new world that we're emerging into.
Yeah, Barry. So KBAC has always built our brand on what we believe to be quality products. We've always partnered with, and I use that word quite specifically, partnered with international and local suppliers who echo our beliefs as well. Interface is our biggest global brand. We've been a distributor for them for well over 35 years, and if I'm not mistaken, we are the longest standing local distributor, or the longest standing distributor of theirs internationally. Obviously, we represent the Southern African market, and they pioneered the sustainability side of things and the green building revolution that is seen run through the whole building market and globally. And they did that before it was legislation. They did it before there was requirements by law to institute that. And more recently, we've partnered with companies like Roeland, with Eager, with Cavalier Bremworth. So we've got a cross section of international brands that we represent here locally, as well as developing the Vanguard collection, which is a locally produced carpeting collection, which we partnered with Belgatex on, who also have got an incredible sustainability story. And beyond just the sustainability side of it, all those partners that we work with have people as the core of their businesses, and that resonates with us. You know, we have a critical part to play in people's lives, whether it be on a residential installation. You know, I was talking with Ed Collar of Belgatex. It's not many opportunities that you get to go into a person's home, into the most intimate spaces within their home, and change that for them by putting down a new flooring. And we have a great responsibility to our clients to ensure we offer them the correct service and quality of products. in what we do.
I've heard and I've experienced, my dad was a senior QS for Grinica LTA back in his day, and he's had a relationship with your company way back then, and he's long time into retirement, but he's always professed that he's acknowledged, should I say, your relationship from installer through to residential and commercial clients, that you really focus strongly on holding that relationship between the factory through to the end consumer. And he says that's what is the bankable aspect of Kevin Bates Alpha Carpets, is that relationship, that strength in that relationship.
Well, it's so good to hear that coming from third parties, Barry, because that's exactly what we try and achieve. You know, we're in a situation where many people can supply you product. Many people can offer you a carpeting. You can get it from so many different sources. What we try and offer to our clients is not only a basket of products that is readily available, but a basket of products that are a little outside the norm that we have managed to develop over the years through different supply chain. But then coupled to that, a service that you can rely on. We're in the flooring industry, we're in the construction industry, and anybody who's done a renovation at home or been on building sites, everyone knows that during a build, things go wrong. I'm not saying that we're perfect. I'm not saying we get it right every time. That's life, and that's how, you know, the industry we work in. But what we will do is we'll never run away. We will look after you. We'll do our utmost to ensure that it's done professionally. We try and operate with openness, integrity, and professionalism within the organization, coupled with the good quality products that we bring to the market. So that service offering is what we add to the purchase for the clients. Yeah, you could go and buy it maybe for a few rand cheaper from, you know, somebody off the street. You know, that's fine. Everyone has their place, but you know, we try and put back into the industry. We intimately involved with training. We get really involved with the manufacturers as well, and try and ensure we have the best staff, not only from a fitting perspective, but from our reps and our client services people. To try and offer, you know, a holistic approach to the flooring industry and a professional approach to the flooring industry.
And coming back to that keyword of quality, looking at the ranges you currently hold, what for you are the hallmarks of quality, or the kind of the key markers that are really important when we think about the word quality in the flooring industry?
It's a difficult one. And also because we offer such a wide range of product, both residentially and commercially. So traditionally, clients on a commercial space were looking for products that would last them 10 to 15 years, that they're looking at life cycle costs. And those tended to be the more expensive products. And Interface was the global leader in that, with products that had, you know, the best nylon relationships in terms of their partnerships, so that the products perform for those length of times. What we found over the last few years is that dynamic changes within the office spaces are asking people to look at office spaces slightly differently, and it's not uncommon for clients to come to us and say, guys, we want a product that's going to last us 5 years, because we want to change. We're not going to be in these offices in 5 years' time, or we're growing too quickly, whatever it might be. But we want a product that looks great, and it's going to last us those 5 years, and it's going to be economical. So, you know, to offer a quality product doesn't necessarily mean a product that's going to last you 15 years. You may have a product designed to be a shorter lifespan product, but at the same time offer you the aesthetics. We are ultimately, at the end of the day, in the design industry, and we have got the opportunity to really enhance the space. And if you take a good look at some of the images that you see of interiors of buildings and of homes, the flooring plays an integral part to that space. So to try and find the right product for the right application is key for us and our team, so that it's not only selling you the most expensive, or what do you want, what do you need, what are your goals in terms of your space, and how we can find the right product to fit that space for you.
Because it is a word that is bandied about, but it's really about meeting the spec and listening to the spec and understanding what quality means on each basis.
And delivering that throughout the pipe chain.
Yeah, and it's the quality of the product and the quality of the installation. Barry, more and more products are becoming technical. LVT is the buzzword in the market, and whether that be a glue down or an SBC or vinyl flooring as a category, a lot of people think that gluing down an LVT is easy. It's probably one of the most tricky products to work with. And we've in our Vanguard collection, we have 4 different offerings in our collection. On the residential side, we've got an offering, and we've got 3 on the commercial side. But if you don't do the preparation work correctly, if you don't use the right glue, if you don't allow the floors to acclimatize, if you mess around with direct sunlight, you can get yourself into a world of pain very quickly. So that quality goes beyond just the product. You got to make sure you're dealing with people that know how to assess the situation, and if they get it wrong, which, as I said before, is not impossible, that they come back and help you fix it. And it's that whole offering that's important from our perspective.
I think it's like really taking that responsibility. Like you got your product suppliers or manufacturers who take responsibility that their product will meet the specification if it's installed correctly and specified correctly. It's the installers that understand and take the responsibility for the installation, and that the right product is sold into the right environment. Because so often we see the wrong products sold into the wrong environments, and people always try and cut corners, and then they happen to have the products installed twice or thrice, and they end up wasting money. And if they just went with a reputable, qualified installer retailer relationship, they would actually get a cheaper end result that gives them less anxiety and stress and loss, I would say. And that's part of what I have in my career respected with KBAC, in that you've always been that benchmark on where I believe that installers should aspire to, where they have the right resources and backup from management all the way down into delivering great results. Can you tell me a little bit more about the products? Because biomimicry and the pattern, and as you said earlier on, the whole design, we're in the design industry. You've got some incredible products that are really quite unique. And I can be a little bit weird and quite a flooring nerd at times, but you've got some exciting products.
Yeah, we really do. We're very fortunate to have some great partners with us. So we've got a collection of imported ranges, as I touched on earlier. Interface being our biggest carpet tile imported range. And they've set the benchmark from design. David Oakey, their head designer based in the States, has come up with some really groundbreaking designs that we've seen a lot of companies copy over the years. And that term biomimicry and biophilia has been synonymous with the Interface brand and them starting that. So their catchphrase is inspired by nature. And a lot of their design teams spend weeks at a time out in various natural environments, taking inspiration from textures and finishes and tones from the environment around them, and coming up with some incredible collections. We obviously also are highly aware of the importance of local manufacture, and we've over the years worked very closely with Belgatex, who've offered us the Vanguard collection that we worked with, and we've developed that Vanguard collection on a locally produced level. It's not in competition with Interface. They're at different price points and different levels in the market, but Belgatex make a world-class product. They're an incredible group of humans as well. They're a great team, and we've worked incredibly closely with them. And that Vanguard collection has allowed us to offer our clients a beautifully constructed, great designs, and we've got a really exciting new launch it's kind of put on hold thanks to COVID-19, but it's designed and been ticked off and ready to go on a range called the Fabrics collection. So keep an eye out for that. I can't tell you too much about it, but it will be it's a nylon that's coming out, and it's going to be really competitively priced. To kind of find that space where you were mentioning about finding the right product. So a low weight nylon that's still got beautiful design and flexibility for the office space, to give you some longevity from a performance perspective, but for the client who's got a bit of budget constraints that they need to be aware of. And so the two products have worked really well for us, specifically in our commercial space, having Vanguard Collection and Interface as the two brands that we primarily promote internally, both of extremely high quality and from what we believe to be the leading manufacturers internationally and locally, supporting us. And then coupled to the carpeting side of the Vanguard collection, as I mentioned, we've got the LVT collection. We've been doing LVTs for many years. We're one of the first businesses to bring LVTs into South Africa, and it's been an exceptionally positive range for us. And again, that's in the Vanguard collection, which we import. There's no local manufacturer of LVT locally. And we have Interface that have their own loose lay LVT as well. So between the glue down LVTs of Vanguard and the loose lay LVTs of Interface, it also gives us a great cross section with incredible design opportunities to mix in with the carpeting space. In the corporate space, we also have a great offering of access flooring. Access floor over the years has been a critical part to commercial buildings and commercial space. And we found a lot of challenges from designers where they are battling to find products that fit on top of an access floor, where they are still able to gain access into the plenum, where we don't have the access floor grid showing through the products. We mentioned Bolon as a great vinyl product, but that becomes very challenging when laying on a conventional access floor. We've dealt with a company called Kingspan in the UK and bring their products out, which Bolon endorses as a product to be laid under their vinyl, and linking the traditional access floor to a Kingspan installation is quite possible. So you could quite easily take a building, and we know from the discussions with the architects and the designers that pause areas and certain breakaway zones may need a vinyl floor covering, but they still want access to the plenum. The client may not have the budgets necessarily to fit Kingspan throughout, but there's nothing stopping us from designing the building to have Kingspan in those specific zones where we could put a vinyl floor covering and then having the traditional access floor in the balance of the building. So it's vital to have that communication with the architects and the design team up front in the early design stages of the building, where we can discuss access flooring, the requirements of the building itself, and help the client as part of the solution of making sure they've got the right product in the building. So that covers us really well in our corporate offering. On the residential side, we've obviously got Cavalier Bremworth, which is a New Zealand manufacturer, predominantly in wool. They make some unbelievable products. The residential market has been quite strained of late, for obvious reasons. Financially, it's a tough market, and everyone's feeling the pinch of the downturn in our economy over the last 18 months or so. And then also on the Vanguard collection, we've got 3 beautiful nylons, which have just been refreshed for residential applications, which give the clients a cross section of heights, and we've done it kind of a good, better, best kind of scenario. So the colors are consistent across the three products, but in different heights. So as an example, you could put the really luxurious thick pile in your master bedroom, but you could put the lower weights down in guest rooms or kids' bedrooms, which are obviously less expensive, but aesthetically they look the same. But when you walk on them, there's a huge difference in that thicker pile. Yeah, so those are our kind of in-house brands. I can't not mention Roeland being an unbelievable design product. It's not the cheapest product out there, but that's never been our forte, is to offer the cheapest. And the two ladies that own and run Roeland are really creative, and some of their designs that they have got are just spectacular. So yeah, that's our collection that we have on our design space.
So obviously in your 50 years of organizational memory of our economy, even COVID-19 is new information. But in your collective memory, what words of wisdom can you share with our flooring community who are, in a lot of world of hurt, particularly our installers and our small little businesses? What can you share to keep us going, or words of wisdom or practical advice, what we can do?
I think the words of wisdom is not only for the small guys. I think COVID-19 is impacting everybody, from the biggest manufacturers to the smallest guys that are making a living with a single team. It's going to impact us all. It's going to impact us all very, very hard. But collectively, we're an incredibly resilient bunch, both as South Africans and as in the flooring industry. And I go back to where we started the discussion around partnerships and relationships. I think those long-term relationships, being honest with your supply chain and with your clients, your staff at this point are critical. We are fighting every day to ensure that we can keep all of our staff together. They are our biggest asset. We have spent a huge amount of time over the years developing an incredible team. So to those businesses out there, keep it real and keep talking to people during these weeks of lockdown and post-lockdown. The lockdown's not going to end at the end of April and life will go back to normal. I think it's going to take us a long time to find out what the new normal is, and building those relationships with people that are meaningful. You mustn't be out there just to make a sale, to make a quick profit. That's not going to be the lasting solution. Be honest and build a relationship that is meaningful. It'll pay you back in volumes.
Brandon, thank you so much for your time and being a part of our first impromptu online flooring expo. We really look forward to exploring your products in depth at a later date, where we can really get to know the nuances, because the Interface and Roeland and Vanguard are some of my favorite flavors, and there's lots to explore there. And thank you to your whole team, and all the best for post-COVID recovery.
Thank you both for having me on. Good luck for the expo. I hope it goes off really well. I'm sure it will. And who knows? This might be the new way of presenting floors. We are in a tactile industry, but yes, things are changing fast. So congratulations for getting it up and running so quickly. And I'm really excited to see its success. Thank you both for having me.